Today is one of our more sensitive topics that we're going to talk about. What do you do when you just feel like life is not going your way? What do you do when everything you've done, all of the dedication, all of the money, all of your time have been spent, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a business, whether it's in a job? What do you do when everything you've done seems like it just doesn't work? It hasn't worked out. Okay, make sure you first hit that like and subscribe button. Everyone goes through this period of, and I call it in one of my books, life transitions, where you're transitioning from a point where it's probably a job, it's a career, it's a relationship, a business, even spiritually, where we go through these transitions where we feel like what we're doing is just not working, or we're headed down a path that we've been down before, and we know what the results are, and we're like, this seems like we're headed down the same tunnel, and we don't want to go down it. And it's depressing. It is nerve-wracking. It makes you feel like it doesn't matter. Everything you do is just going to fall apart. That's not true. So the first thing you have to do is just take a holistic point of view. Step back, exhale. Man, sometimes just that simple can just do a lot. Now, look at the entire situation. Look at every angle first. Don't just draw a conclusion, because it's easy to look at what this shows you and you're like, okay, that's just what it is. Look at every angle. Write it down. Take time. A lot of times when we're going through these transitions, we just go with the flow. That's not always the best solution. So what I'm saying is, the first thing to do is just take time away, exhale, and start writing down what's going on. Write down all of the thoughts, all of the negative things, all of the hurdles. Write everything down so your mind can physically look at it and process it. That is huge. Now write down A and B. If this all goes, here's all of this part. But there's a possibility can be the outcome that I want. So start looking at all of your B outcomes. Then I tell people, look at other people, not just their success, look at their failures too. Because the failures is the pinpoint that you need right now to help you get over. People's failures help you. Your failures will help you, but it'll help other people get over. So you have to start looking at that. Look at someone else who has went through a similar transition that you have. If you can call someone, talk to someone, hey, give me an advice. I'm going down this tunnel. I'm not quite sure if it's the right path. Here's what's happened. Here's what happened before. And just tell them and get some feedback. Side note, make sure you're getting feedback from people who will listen. You need to also have people that you can talk to without giving you that judgment. Sometimes people will call me, and the first thing I will say is, let me give you my opinion. And a lot of times people just want to vent. So I always give people that initial opportunity, like, go ahead and vent. Get it all off your chest, tell me what's going on. They may come back a second time. By the time they come back with a third vent, I'm just saying, you're just complaining. So if you're not looking to take proactive changes and see how we can adjust what's going on, you're just coming to me to complain. And I don't want that type of energy in my circle. So I always talk about, you got to figure out how can you protect your energy. You got to figure out how you can protect it, because you're already dealing with so much stuff right now. So the next thing we're talking about is find someone, whether it's a counselor, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a best friend or a mentor, even these online communities, you can go on and just vent, and people will sit there and listen to you, because sometimes you just need to vent. Another thing that I will always say is, find a time to just have me. You need that me time. And you need to figure out a way where you're getting your body moving. That just exercise, that simple walk around the park, that walk around the block, huge. It allows you to process. That little alone time, not just a alone time where you're just gonna lay in the bed and you're just like, well, I'm just gonna allow this to happen. No, you need to find a period where you're getting up, your body's moving, and it's allowing you to really just process. Take that walk. That simple walk around your neighborhood is huge. Just staying in the house, staying in one place, it can just drive you crazy. Your lunch breaks, get out there and just take a walk. Those periods where you can just walk and process is critical. So now you start you're looking at these things that's going on. Set new goal. Huge. It's always talking about goal setting, but I'm gonna tell you on this. Set some very short-term goals. Short-term goals allows you to build momentum. We may look at these things we're going through, all of these different hurdles, these different financial burdens. We're looking at, weight that we've picked up, just all these different things. And we're looking at the bigger picture. And you can't just, they've always said, how do you eat an elephant, bite by bite. You can't just try to take the entire puzzle and try to put it together. That is not how it's going to work for you. You have to set short-term goals. Look at what long-term goals you're trying to do with this particular situation or situations you have. Look at the long term. Now break it down. How can I start building momentum? Because momentum requires discipline. Momentum requires you to build upon something else. So if you just have this huge long-term goal and you haven't really set and started doing these short-term to start building momentum, it's going to, be hard to see past the mountains that are in front of you. 2, it's going to be hard for you to really understand and measure your progress. You have to start measuring your progress. So whatever this hurdle you're going through, this situation, it's not something that most of these people and us who have got into these situations, it hasn't been, you woke up and it's like, oh shoot, I'm broke. Oh shoot, I've gained 500, kilos or pounds, And if you're in that situation, you look at it like, well, I'm 300, 400, 500 pounds overweight. That just didn't happen overnight. You just didn't go broke overnight. It's been a domino effect. So momentum has to almost go into a shift reverse where you got to start looking at how can I start building momentum piece after piece. If your credit is messed up, it wasn't just one thing that just messed your credit up. We do have things that happen within our credit, but it's not just one thing. It's an accumulation of things that's happened. So look at the same process when you're trying to do these goals. You have to accumulate progress. So start setting these small goals that allow you to build momentum. And how do you set these small goals? Look at the big picture. Look at it. You wrote that down. Look at everything. You're looking at all of the hurdles, everything. You're looking at all the past stuff. Now, break it down. What can I do now to start building small momentums? Here's my big goal. Now, what little goals can I start doing to eventually build momentum to get into there? That is going to be critical as you start picking the pieces up to everything that's happening in your life. Now, we'll continue this, but I want to just give you some insight of how you can start doing. And the last thing I want to say is you have to practice discipline. Discipline and be resilient, because things are going to try to knock you off, and things will knock you off, and that's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself when things knock you off. Just know you got to pick it back up, and you got to pick it up fast. So don't be so hard on yourself. There's so many people have been through the same thing that you have been through and have gotten over. Small parts of progress, small goals to start building and reaching towards those bigger goals. It builds progress. Progress builds momentum, and momentum is all you need. Thank you.